Hello, everyone. Welcome to JH Notary Academy. My name is Jessica, and I am here today to talk to you about becoming a remote online notary. So, I've been working as a remote online notary for several years now. During that time, I've completed thousands of notarizations and real estate transactions just while working from home. In today's video, I'm going to break down how I make up to $500 a day as a remote online notary, and that's barely trying. And I'm also going to talk about three primary ways remote online notaries, earn income, and what I would recommend if I were starting over today. So, if you've ever wondered whether becoming a remote online notary is worth it, this video will help you understand the opportunities, the challenges, and the path I would take as a beginner. Let's get started. So, before we actually get started, I'm going to quickly introduce myself again. I told you my name's Jessica. It is Jessica. I am a Texas notary public, a remote online notary, a loan signing agent, and an apostille facilitator. I've worked in the notary industry for more than 4 years, and I've completed thousands of notarizations, loan signings, and document appointments both remotely and in person. So, one thing that I've learned over the years is that there are multiple ways to build a successful notary business. My goal with JH Notary Academy is to help aspiring notaries avoid common mistakes and shorten the learning curve and help people create additional income opportunities through notary work. This is a great way to make money on this side or even full time. That's what I do full time um, if you have a 9 to 5 job. So I just want to help people give themselves the freedom that comes with extra income. So, with that said, let's talk about how remote online notaries make money. Quick review of the table of contents. This is what we will be going over today. First, I'll explain what a remote online notary is, just in case anyone doesn't know what it is. I'll explain how the industry works. We'll talk about income potential and how I've personally been able to generate up to $500 a day. After that, I'll walk you through the three primary ways that remote online notaries make money, the biggest mistakes I see new notaries make, ones that I've made myself personally, and the beginner path I would recommend if I were starting over today as a remote online notary. Finally, I'm going to share a few free and paid resources that can help you continue your journey if becoming a remote online notary is something you're serious about. So let's go ahead and get started for real this time. All right, so what is a remote online notary exactly? A remote online notary, also called a RON, is a commissioned notary who performs notarizations completely online using secure audio video technology. Instead of meeting a client at a bank, a coffee shop, a title company, attorney's office, etc., the entire appointment takes place through a secure online platform. The signer verifies their identity, uploads their documents, and then joins the session with the notary, and then the notarization is completed remotely. So that's just a general understanding of what a RON, a remote online notary, does. So let's talk about the question everybody wants answered. How do remote online notaries actually make money? This creates convenience for being remote for signers and for you because you can complete the process from home. It creates opportunities for notaries because they can often work virtually from anywhere with a reliable internet connection. As far as more businesses and consumers become comfortable handling transactions online, remote notarization continues and will continue to grow as a valuable service. I can tell you that the amount of work available as a remote notary has actually increased from the time I started to now. I can also tell you that just to be completely transparent here, there is a larger number of notaries out there, but there aren't enough notaries who know their laws, who know how to perform notarizations correctly, and who know exactly what they're doing. So there's that, but the volume has increased for sure. So let's move on to the next slide. So, can you really make $500 a day as a Ron? Yes, you can, but you can't do it overnight. If nothing happens overnight. But I want to be very clear. Most people are not going to start at $500 a day. Like any business or profession, there is a learning curve. And in the beginning, you're learning the technology, you're learning how to interact with clients, you're learning how to complete notarizations efficiently and most importantly, accurately. That's one of our main jobs is first to verify the signer's identity to derail fraud, and second, to be accurate in the way we complete the certificates. And the certificates are the notarial certificates that you stamp. But over time, your efficiency will improve. You'll get better at it. You'll learn where the opportunities are. You'll learn how to market yourself. You'll learn how to build relationships. And that's when your income potential can start to increase significantly. Significantly. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people comparing their day one to someone else's year 4 or 5. Your day one is not going to look like my year 4, my year 5. It's not going to look the same, but you do have to start somewhere. So, what you need to do is really focus on building experience first, and the income tends to follow. The good news is that there are multiple ways to earn money as a remote online notary, and that's what we're going to talk about next. And I really want to revisit building the experience portion because a lot of people think that they can jump into something and make money really quickly or get rich quick. And that's not the case for most things in life. You have to put the time in, you have to make the mistakes, you have to learn. Or if you are lucky enough, you can learn from someone else. You can get a mentor that can help you expedite your journey, but you still need to put in time and energy into your whatever it is you're doing so that you can be successful. So nothing is going to happen overnight. Consistency matters, experience matters, efficiency matters, and you only get efficient the more and more you practice, the more you do it. And then marketing matters, and you'll learn that as you go. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so 3 ways to make money as a remote notary. The first way is platform work, which is where many people get started because the work is already coming to you. So platforms are basically websites that source notary work for notaries, and they send you the work. You contract with them as an independent contractor, and you do the work there. The second is real estate closings. They often pay a lot, so you would basically or essentially work with title companies, which are companies that handle the sale and purchase of businesses, buildings, homes, that sort of thing, any real estate. You'll work directly with them to get closings, and you can do it from home. You don't have to go into the title office, which a lot of traditional loan signing agents, that's what they do. If you've heard of that term before. Um, but real estate closings are a significant income source, and I do implore everyone who wants to get started to keep that in the back of their head to start reaching out to title companies or to look forward to reaching out to title companies. The third one is getting your own clients through marketing and networking. And this is just for real estate. This is for general notary work. This is for specialized notary work like healthcare or something like that. So those are the 3 primary ways you can make money as a notary. The important thing I want you to understand is that every one of these paths do work. I've personally seen notaries succeed. I've personally succeeded with 2 of these ways. And the difference isn't whether the opportunity exists, it's whether you're willing to learn and put in the effort and time. Stay consistent and keep going when things start slowly. And they might start slowly for some of you, which is okay and totally normal. It doesn't make or break you, so to speak. So don't let that determine your trajectory if you start out slow. Most people do quit too early, so don't quit early. Keep going. Stay consistent. And if you stay committed, gain experience, and continue improving your skills, there is absolutely potential to create meaningful income as a remote online notary. All right, so let's go over the first way to make money. This is one of the primary ways I make money as a remote online notary. It's our platforms. And I got to admit, this is the main way, or the first way, or the most common way, I should say, remote online notaries start. So platforms, they bring you clients, like I said earlier. You don't have to worry about marketing right away. You log in, you accept notarizations, and you gain real world experience. In the beginning, I think it's important to focus less on the money and more on learning the process. Even though I know you want the money, I want the money too. That's why you're doing it. But the better you are at your job, the more money you will make. So it's important at first to focus on learning um, the process, learning the technology, and doing well in that aspect. And like I said, as your speed and your confidence improve, your earnings are going to improve as well. So many successful notaries start exactly this way before moving into real estate closings or building their own client base. So that's the platform. That's what I do. That's how I make my $500 a day. I'm a full time student, just a little side story. I'm a full time student, so I don't have the time or the energy to put in all of the marketing that I used to do 2 years ago. So if you do have that time and that energy, do it because your income can skyrocket from there. But just putting in minimal effort as a remote online notary and focusing on a few clients I've sourced myself and platforms, I'm able to pull in $1,000 to $2,000 a week. So that's really great, a really great way to add income to your if you have a full-time job or something like that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next are title and real estate. These are the real estate closings I was talking about earlier. So this is where networking starts to matter. Instead of waiting for the work to appear for you, like on the platforms, you're building relationships with title companies and signing services and escrow officers and real estate agents and attorneys, all of that. Um, Signing services. I know if you're a loan signing agent and you're looking into remote online notarization, signing services do have signings that are remote only. I've had a few from SnapDocs and a few other signing services where they asked me to be the remote online notary for a transaction. So that's definitely out there. I had a year where I was getting maybe one a week from a signing service, but I have to update my credentials with that particular service. So I can go over that in a later video, but I just wanted to let you know that signing services are definitely a an option for remote online notaries to get signings from, not just sourcing from platforms and real estate. But you do have to build that relationship with that signing service. So it's important to learn this information. So as you're building these relationships, the goal is to become the notary they think of when they need help. So that you need to be top of mind for these particular industry professionals. So one relationship can lead to a dozen to dozens of assignments over time. This path usually takes more effort up front, but it can create more predictable and scalable source of income. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, get your own clients. So, this is also where you're no longer waiting for opportunities to come to you, you're creating them. So, your clients might include attorneys and business owners and hospitals and universities and everyday people who need documents notarized. Building your own client base takes time, but it gives you the most control over your schedule. Your pricing and your growth is all in your hands when you build your own clients, your own clientele. Some of the highest earning notaries I know didn't get there because of a platform. They got there because they learned how to market themselves and to build relationships. So it's extremely important for you to not entirely rely on platforms. If you can get to that particular point, like I have, then yes, you can. Especially if you have a 9 to 5, especially if you're a full time mom or something like that, this is something you can do in the evenings really easily and make a decent amount of money. But if you are looking for a way not to be tied down to a 9 to 5, not to be a full time employee of someone else, you really need to get used to marketing, get used to and marketing isn't that hard. It's not all You don't have to be fake. One of the things that I hated about marketing was that I felt like I needed to pretend to be someone else for people to like me or to like my business or would want to work with me. And I promise you, hand to the Lord, you can just be yourself. In any capacity that comes in, be yourself, be polite, be yourself, and people you will attract the right people. So it's not hard at all. It's actually quite pleasant when you really get into the nitty-gritty of it because people in this industry, they know how stressful it can be, or not particularly the notary part, but the title professionals, the lawyers, they're generally really polite people. So I just want to put that out there that marketing isn't really that difficult. You just have to be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You don't have to pretend to be bubbly. You don't have to pretend to be overly positive. You don't have to do any of that. You could just be absolutely yourself. Be polite, but be yourself, and it will come. All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, so common mistakes notaries or remote online notaries make. So let's go over that. So, one of the most common mistakes I see new notaries make is they spend all their energy getting commissioned, excuse me, but also almost no time thinking about how they're actually going to generate business. Becoming a notary is important, but it's only the first step. The people who earn the most are usually the ones who continue to learn, build relationships, market themselves, and stay consistent even when things start slowly. Your commission opens the door, but your actions determine how far you go. And if the staying consistent part is pushing you away, let me let you in on a little industry secret. In the world of technology today, there are so many ways to automate things, to have AI do things for you, to have assistants that are completely artificial. There's so many ways for you to kind of lay your head down at night and have your automated workflow do all of the manual work for you. So staying consistent really just means staying on top of your business, managing your business well. But the day-to-day grind, the task, you could put that into an automated workflow or give that to an artificial intelligence and it'll be done for you, which is extremely amazing in this day and age. So when I say stay consistent, it really is about staying responsible, staying on top of your business and being able to manage that particular aspect well. But grinding tasks, doing little tasks here and there, you don't have to worry about that anymore in 2026. You can get an automated workflow, hire or get an artificial intelligence, or actually hire an assistant, and they can do that hard stuff for you. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Uh, Another mistake here. Let's see. All right, so this is the beginner path I would take if I was starting over. If I were starting over, So if I were starting over today, this is the exact path I would follow. First, I'd become a traditional notary, which you have to. You have to be a traditional notary before you can become a remote online notary. Every state has different requirements for that. So your first goal is do your research for your state, and then get commission. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do exactly what your state's requirements are. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Overcomplicate it. Next, you obtain your remote online notary commission or authorization. Um, so once you get approved to be a traditional notary, at least here in the state of Texas, that's where I'm at. You have to apply again to become a remote online notary, and that process is a lot quicker. It takes about a week for that to happen. Just a side note, but you have to do the two commissions or two separate commissions. And that's only if your state allows it. There are some states that do not allow remote online notarization. I know in California, they're not going to allow it until the year 2030. So if you're in California, that kind of sucks. But there are different ways you can use your notary commission, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to stress about that. But yeah, just make sure your state allows remote online notarization. You get your traditional commission, you get your remote online notary commission. Um, But one thing that I do like to recommend is you also, while you're waiting for your commission, you get your necessary technology, and your certificates, all of that stuff, while you're waiting for the commission to come through. But it doesn't take that long. Third, now it can take long. I'm gonna Just a disclaimer. Sometimes it doesn't take long. I would say most times it doesn't, but sometimes it can, depending on your state. It can take a while, but most times it doesn't. Third, this is the step most people skip. Start learning marketing immediately. Start learning how to market yourself immediately. Don't wait until your commission arrives. Don't over stress about it. Don't overcomplicate marketing. Learn how marketing works. And remember, in the marketing, you could be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. You don't have to pester people. You need to learn marketing, learn marketing, learn marketing, learn marketing. Don't wait until your commission arrives. While you're waiting for all of your approvals, get your technology, get your certificates, your digital certificate, get your stamps. You can't get your stamp until actually you get your commission, but do everything you can do while you're waiting for your commission. And one of the main things I suggest again is learn marketing. Learn how notaries find clients, build your online presence, start thinking about how you're going to generate business. Um, One of the biggest advantages you can give yourself is preparation. So by the time your commission arrives, you should already have a plan that you can execute immediately. That way you're not spending months wondering what to do next. Becoming a notary is important, but learning how to create opportunities for yourself is what ultimately helps you build income. And if you like help with these first steps, if you like help with these first steps, I put together a free remote online notary starter guide, which I'll share on the next slide. And if you'd like help with these first steps, I've put together a free online notary starter guide, which I'll share with you on this very next slide. All right, so if you're getting started, grab my free remote online notary starter guide in the description below. It covers the basics and gives you a roadmap to get started. It's totally free, and I always say it's really the only thing you need to get started. If you have a can do attitude, a lot of motivation, you get this starter guide, it tells you exactly what to do. It tells you exactly what to do to get started. So please get that. Um, it tells you the steps to become a notary. It goes over more common beginner mistakes, basic income opportunities, and recommended next steps. It's in the description below if you need to get that, if you want to get that. All right, let's see what's next. All right, so if you want to go further, if you're already a commissioned notary, traditional or otherwise remote, um, you can download the Starter Launch Kit. So if you don't know a lot about Ron, if you want to set up the business and really go deep into it, the Ron Starter Launch Kit is excellent. It is a step by step launch plan that makes you, it's set up to make you do the work. It's set up to make you do the things that you put off and to do them in a way that gets it done quickly. So there's a plan, a 14-day plan to get commissioned and launch your business. There's a 30-day plan to become successful. It is a workbook that will guide you through each step. I highly, highly, highly recommend it to expedite your journey and expedite your road to success. So the Ron Starter Launch Kit, after you get the guide and you need a little more guidance, that's the first place I would go. And if you are up next, if you are a remote online notary already, I have another workbook, another guide, so to speak. It's called How to Get Notary Clients. So you have your commission, you're maybe on a platform or two, and you're trying to figure out how to to maximize your profits, to maximize your income, how to work the platforms, how to get clients, that sort of thing. I created this guide to specific that focuses specifically on marketing, networking, and finding opportunities as a notary. And these are the ways that I personally used myself that have worked for me. So it tells you exactly how to get clients. I strongly recommend it again to cut down the time it takes for you to get to that success level. It's what I've used for the past 2 years, these methods. And then the Remote Masterclass ebook, it provides a deeper dive into the systems, the strategies and the lessons I've learned from years in the industry, specifically for anyone who wants to source their money from platforms and from getting your own clients. Those are the two main ways I make my money. Those systems and strategies and lessons that I've learned through that process are in the Remote Masterclass ebook. So I would grab that. There's a bundle with everything in it if you don't want to buy each one individually. But that's just an overview of what's available to you and how I will be able to help you in your remote online notary journey. So whether you start with the free guide or one of the paid resources, my goal is to help you avoid the mistakes that I've made and shorten your learning curve. So you'll find everything in the description below linked. And if you found this video helpful, you'll find everything in the description linked below. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and download that free starter guide. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing, and it's really the only thing you need. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.